After what feels like forever, I finished the Copenhagen Marathon, and here's how it went. Here we go. Current state of affairs. Landed in Iceland. Hour and a half till Copenhagen. It's like 5:30 in the morning. Current state of affairs. We have arrived in Denmark.
Wait, where are we?
We arrived in Denmark. In Copenhagen.
They got the 7-Eleven here. I've never seen that before.
Feel okay. Able to get some sleep. Check the state of my cankles later. T-minus 40 minutes till the hotel.
It's video, baby.
Right.
It's really good form.
Okay, I'm currently at a restaurant called Selma, I think. Selma. Selma is the name of the restaurant. Last meal, I think I think I'll probably go back and have some carbs, but full day of travel, one layover, probably like 10 hours total of like being in an airplane. So feeling a little bit tired. Just had a meal, got some carbs in me, definitely hydrated enough, and in the morning we go for it. Right now it's, I don't have my watch on me, but right now it's probably 8 p.m. So a couple more hours, get some sleep, and then get to the start line in the morning. Feeling good. Glad to be in Copenhagen. Glad to just be on land, walking a little more, but pumped for the morning. See you soon. I am in a bathroom though. That is what's happening. The morning of the marathon was okay. I didn't really sleep that well. I woke up probably around like 4:30 and then I was pretty distracted and just couldn't really get myself to sleep. The start time of the race was 9:30 and I ended up sleeping. So I couldn't sleep from like 4 to 6, fell asleep from 6 to 8, which I was planning on leaving for the marathon by 8 so that I could take the public transit, get there, and then be able to get in line, get in my pace group and everything. But I ended up leaving at 8:45, got to the race around 9:15, and I really needed to go to the bathroom. I knew that there were 15,000 people getting funneled through this one location, so there's like no chance that I was gonna be late, but I did have to wait in line to go to the bathroom. It just took a while. Currently queuing for the toilets. I was really rolling in the start group. It was like 9:45, and then I still had a little bit of time to wait before we really started moving. Baby. Do it just for another 3 hours. 4 probably. Here we go. I think I started like 15 to 17 minutes later than like the official gun time because there were elite runners going out at 9:30 on the dot and then funneling all of us through. So when I first started running, I think that the flight the day before did have a pretty big impact on just how I felt. 2K in. Feeling a little run down. Just the fact that I flew in yesterday, a little dehydrated from that, but I did my best. Trying to settle in around 8:50. It's really packed though. My legs were tight from sitting in the chairs in the airplane, and then from actually being on the flight. Like I felt super dry. Even though we were in Copenhagen and it wasn't that warm, I just felt like it was pretty warm, and it took me about a few miles to get in the groove. Take a look at these streets though. Looks like Baltimore. And then I would say from like 3 through 10, I was able to settle into my initial game plan. So my first 10 miles, I wanted to take it calm at like a 8:50 or so and not really push it too hard, even if I felt good. And the first few miles felt okay, but then I was able to settle in. All right, we are through the first aid station. Tried out the good stuff. Still super early. And then 7 miles felt super easy, and I actually had to keep myself from going much faster than I felt like I could have. So that felt great. The feeling of knowing that I could have gone faster, but I was holding myself back, I thought would have proved to be really helpful. All right. First loop done. I think 11K in now. Probably approaching that sign now. The pain has subsided. Feeling good. Right now I'm listening to Christian lo-fi, 2 hours of it, and then we'll get an hour and a half of exciting music. Just trying to keep myself calm. Let's go, Brady!
Woo! Wait, where is he? Where is he? Let's go!
Just saw Jules, Blair, and Reagan. Oh my God. 10 miles left. Yeah. That's all right. I got 10 miles and pick up the pace a little bit. Kept it pretty controlled. We got people crossing. Oh my God. Yeesh. Yeah, spent the first 10 miles, got a 8:52. Feel healthy. I'm so tired of eating carbs. My mouth got that gummy feeling. And then from 10 to 16 was great. I saw Jules and Blair and Reagan around 16 kilometers in, which is like
what is that, 8 something miles? What's the math there? 0.6 times 16. So that's like 9 or so miles. I don't know, whatever that is. And then after seeing them, 10 through 16 felt good. I wanted to kick it up a bit. I was trying to run about an 8:30, 8:40 pace. It felt easier to go faster. So the game plan was first 10 miles, take it easy. Next 10 miles, kick it up if I felt like I could. I started to kick it up, and around 16 miles, I felt like the usual problem, which was my quads seizing up, and felt it a little bit at 16, and I was just berating myself mentally. Like, I didn't train enough to experience this and know what it was like to run through leg cramps for as long as I had to. But from 16 to 20, I would say I was able to continue keeping the pace, even with cramped legs. Just one of those things, I just knew it would happen, and I wasn't ready to fly all the way across the pond, get leg cramps, and then quit out. So I built myself up on my Kuros. I have a pace 2. I was using the Runna app, and it has the current pace you're going at, and it's really helpful. Highly recommend it if anyone wants to. Definitely recommend using Runna. It had a little bit of a pace gap between the slowest I could go to hit my goal time of sub 4 and the fastest, and then you can keep going faster than that, and you don't get punished for that. But if you go too fast or too slow outside the bounds, your watch will beep at you. So it helped keep me on pace the whole time, which was extremely helpful. Looks like some people want to use this little space. I'm at Castrip so bad right now, so I'm gonna take you somewhere else. Okay, so as I was saying, from 16 to 20, it felt really difficult, but good to be able to fight through those cramps and still be able to keep the same pace. So I think I had an 8:51 pace across the entire marathon at that point, which gave me a few minutes, honestly, to, if I hit the wall, I'll be able to push through and still be able to get sub 4 if I kept this pace. From 16 to 20, had a good bit of cramps, was experiencing a good bit of cramping, but was able to push through it and keep around the same pace and keep pushing onward.
Let's go, Brady! Come on, Brady! You're doing great! You're so close, Brady! Keep it up! Don't slow down! That pace is on fire, Brady! Been 5:34 all day! All day! You're so close! See you soon!
And then at 20 miles, the typical wall, which I just haven't had enough training under my belt and experience in a marathon to know what it was like. I've run a marathon before and I experienced the wall and really just died out after that. But I wanted in this race to be able to keep going through it. At mile 20, Nike, who was a fantastic sponsor for the entire marathon, had this area that was under a bridge, and it was this wall of water, like this waterfall, and you could run and go through it. And the whole idea was they had all these signs that said, if you hit the wall, hit it back, or something along those lines. And I think from that point, I really was just dying out. I was looking at my watch and it was just like 9:15, 9:20, 9:30, and I just couldn't get my legs to move any faster. When I had really been moving at such a fantastic rate the whole time and was able to control my pace, I just couldn't keep it faster. I just couldn't push it. And I think that was really disappointing, but I was proud of myself for being able to mentally push through that for those miles. The killer for me, and the mental killer, and what really taught me so much about my brain and the strength of your mind, at least my mind, was at 23 miles, I looked down at my watch and I had a 9-minute pace across the whole race. And I knew my watch was a little bit fast. It was like 0.2 fast, which just meant that there was no way I was gonna get sub 4 at that point unless I really kicked it into gear at that point. The thing is, I really didn't have any more gas, so my brain at that point was like, the goal's gone, you're gonna walk hobble the way in, and that's kind of what happened. I probably walked like the aid stations at least. You probably walked through like a few aid stations, and I had to pop over to the side to stretch out my legs maybe 3 more times between mile 23 and 26.2, which was a bit disappointing. To go into the goal, to have run a marathon before and to still need to walk those end portions was a bit frustrating. But it taught me a lot for the next race. It taught me I need to work on my hill work, my intervals, my speed work. I need to push, I guess, my lactate threshold in my legs and really develop that and grow that. Because if I don't, and I continue doing the exact same runs that I'm doing, I'm gonna keep running into these same issues. So I went into the race thinking, oh, with good nutrition, I can avoid the bonk. I can avoid the wall. If I have enough carbs, which I definitely did, then I can avoid that happening. But that's just not really the case. So, looking in the next few months to put some good training under my belt, get some good speed work, and be able to go at it again. And hopefully, if I can train that 20 to 26 mile mark and develop the leg power and strength and endurance to be able to endure that, I can hopefully smash not even 4 hours, but get way beyond that at least. So the goals are high. My legs, I've been hobbling around all of Copenhagen for a while now. I've been struggling for sure. So for a couple weeks, gonna take it easy, couple runs here and there, and then a few Mondays from now, I'm gonna go back to training. Gonna really send it. Have another solid 16 to 20 week training block under my belt. Regarding Copenhagen and the marathon as a whole, super supportive. The course was a little weird. It was like a double loop in the beginning. So you do one loop, you do another loop, and then you go into the larger course, and then you come back and you finish through that loop. So it was a bit of a bummer to see not as much of Copenhagen as I would have liked. I ideally would have been able to see areas like this and run towards areas like this, but I guess just with the organization, it's just not really that possible. The support that I received was awesome. There were so many people. There was like so many walls of people and these like tunnels of noise that just kept you excited and going. I loved cheering back to the people that were cheering me on. It was nice that my bib actually had my name on it, so people from all different countries were cheering me on, which was really cool. People from all over the world being able to encourage me. And in those earlier miles when I actually was feeling great, it felt great to cheer back and give it back to those people that were supporting me. And then in those last like 6 miles, you could see that in the videos, I am just dead. I had crashed out. I was completely gassed. So Blair had cheered me on. Reagan had cheered me on, Jules had cheered me on, and I just was hardly giving it back in response. So looking forward to training that, to be able to continue fighting longer into the marathon.
That was brutal.
So overall, finished with a 4:04, which is like a 55-minute PR for my last marathon 7 years ago, which, you know, it is what it is. PR is PR. Building, working, moving towards better things. I really liked how Copenhagen, well, one, had Nike as a sponsor. Nike was awesome. But two, was just a complete marathon. It was only marathon runners, which just made the whole experience feel like there's this more camaraderie, at least, between the runners. Like everyone that you saw, you knew, had finished a whole marathon that day. And that was just really special. So in the future, I think I'm gonna look for more races that are dedicated just towards the marathon. So yeah, Copenhagen, you have been good. You've been good to me. And I will continue to hobble to get some more danishes and pastries, and I'll continue to sell out the shelves, buying every lactate I can see in sight.
My brain, man, crushed. Oh man, that was so hard. You can't say, but if an average Joe could do it like me, anyone can.
It stopped raining a bit. I am down bad. I'm just feeling a bit emotional. Oof. Maybe I'm just dehydrated. Who knows? The final time was something like a 4:03. I need to look at like my official time. My watch was a little bit fast, like 0.2 miles fast or something like that. Thank you. The perks of a well-sponsored marathon is Red Bull. I haven't had one of these in forever, but I'll drink anything right now. Disappointed, but grateful. And shout out to Jules, Blair, Reagan, anyone who watched and supported me online. Next one, baby.
Waiting for you.
Are you staying dry?
And for all the other fantastic finishers, well done.
You did it!
Oh man.
Okay.
You did it!
Brady, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Okay. I don't need more water, but
Brady's number one.
that is different. That was crazy. That was crazy.
What were they playing yesterday? Was it alone?
Yeah, Yeah, imagine that. Nothing to it.
Nothing to it. That's so good. 3, 2.
I'm excited. Oh, baby.